So let's finish talking about the other side. When you have a religion where you are taught on what the other side is like, that is what you see when you cross over. That's the world that's created for you to see, to help you get home. I kind of call it the in-between. It's the in-between, like heaven, our concept of heaven is in between this world and the other side. And the reason that the other side would create that for you is to help you transition to the other side. I think everyone would be pretty amazed at what really is on the other side, and how when we get through that heaven and we get to be to the other side with all our family and friends and connected to the source, that we see how magnificent it is. I think it's more grand than any heaven you could ever imagine. And so obviously, because we have so many different religions, that things have to be set so that you have that transition. When Muslims cross over, of course they're going to have what they see, but then you're going to get past the heaven and see the reality. The same sorry, I just went blank. The same with Catholics, the same with Christians, the same with Mormons, the same with Jews. Any religious practice, you're going to see what you need to see, because your soul needs that to let go. Now, my visual, I think, let me explain the visual of us, what we look like on the other side to our family when we're here. You have to understand, our soul is 100 times the size of our human body. The saying, I'm going to say this wrong, but the saying is, you're having a spirit, you're a spiritual being having a physical moment, is really true, because your soul is so grand. And if you think about how huge your soul is, well, of course you can have this lifetime, and you can have a parallel world in another dimension. You could have several, because your soul is controlling those existences, not your physical self in this existence. So if you can just imagine this big cloud, and with several maybe little airplanes stuck into it, those little airplanes are your lifetimes you're living out in different dimensions, and that cloud is your actual soul controlling it. But what happens is, by having those experiences, your soul gets stronger, your soul gets more clear, your soul gets more supportive of the other souls in the world. My other perception of the other side is clarity. Very clear, because we're not connected to this physical world. This dimension that we live in is the most dense, and this world we live in is the most populated. And we are not the only, dimension. We are not the only place that souls exist. We are the most complex. We are the most split. Split meaning black and white. We see the world so black and white, and I hate to say this, but especially America. Not that I'm bashing America. I love America. I support everything about America. However, I think the powers to be in America get big heads, and it's all about us versus them. And what's really sad is, we could have been such a great nation. We still can be such a great nation, where it's about all of us, which is what it was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be a place to come and have your religion, have your faith, and live without persecution. And yet we do that every day. So back to the perception of the other side, it's so grand and so diverse that I think we need that middle ground. We need that, quote, heaven to cross through before we reach the other side. And some people stay there. Some people stay in that in between. Some people, they're not ready to actually see where they come from. And I think that is the perception of people just turning around and coming back, because they can't get themselves to where we really are on the other side. And that's okay. That's why those places are created. That's why those perceptions are created, to make it easier on us. But you have to remember, on the other side, we don't have the issues we have here. I mean, yes, we bring karma things back. We, bring lessons back. But we really feel the intent of those lessons because of our physical being, because of this particular dimension. Where on the other side, we let go of them. We don't have, they're still there, but they're not as significant. They're not like in our face. They're not addictions. They're things that we have to work through, that we know. It's like making a to-do list. Well, okay, next lifetime I have to do this, this, and this. And maybe I want to do this and this, while I'm down there. And another question I got was, why would we be incarnated? And the reason for that is touch. Truly, it's touch. Because even though in our souls we can feel the other side through our heart, the human touch takes it one step further. We miss that. We miss the taste of food. We miss touching, our loved ones. We miss hugging. We miss that closeness that we can get through physical contact. Yes, sex too. And that's why we come back. Plus, compared to all the other dimensions that we could go to, or all the other worlds we could go live our life in, we choose this one only because, yes, it's more complex. Yes, it's harder to live here. However, when you get to the other side, your evolution is much greater. Your soul has grown rapidly compared to learning and living in other dimensions, especially dimensions where life isn't that difficult, where, I know there are worlds where, they get it. Diversity is not so grand because everyone really is equal. And that's it. That's my view of the other side. And I really, again, I don't want to give you too much because I want you to find out for yourself. And how can you find out for yourself? Meditate. Take 10 minutes. Actually, take longer than that. Take half hour out of your schedule. Go lay down in your bed, close your eyes, and ask whoever you talk to, whether it's Jesus, God, your higher self, to let you see the other side. And what they will show you is what you need to see. What you need to see of the other side to help you live your life here and eventually go home. Ciao.